In Senegal, the Teranga Lions seeing off Comoros to win that one by 2 goals to Cape Verde, I beg for pardon, by 2 goals to nothing. And blighting lots of contention. So we talked about a phenomenon. What's the thing with the red cards? There's barely a game you see at AFCON this year, particularly since we were done from the group stage. You wouldn't see a red card or red cards. And in the game last night, it wasn't one, but was two. But let's talk about that moment now. Mane and of course Vozia. Was that a red card for you?
For me, it wasn't. It wasn't. The keeper went for the ball. Mane went for a ball.
Probably maybe. I had no sight on Mane. You know, both players had their eyes on the ball.
Yeah, it wasn't a red card for me. I think football has been marred a bit by VAR on one hand. How? Because you look at that decision for me was emotional from the VAR and the referee because of how Mane fell to the ground. I think that's where the decision came. But when
the player fell as well.
When you look at
the goalkeeper fell as well. But looked lifeless for some moments.
I agree, but when you look at Mane hitting his head on the ground, and that was the point, I think, that they decided to make that call.
Yeah, I would just hope for a time where we won't have emotions interfere.
Then you bring in robots.
Yeah, it shouldn't be about emotions. It should be about the rule application to the strictest sense of it, and beyond the rules and the strictest sense of it. Now, I'd like to see consistency.
I agree with
consistency
you.
in refereeing decisions, consistencies in officiating. So, if it's a red card for Nigeria, it has to be a red card. If a similar incident happens for Senegal, happens against Egypt or whatever, team or whichever team it happens against, those rules must be consistent. So, would move beyond the conversation of favoring the big teams in quotes and of course victimizing the other teams seen as minnows or relatively smaller teams that by virtue of context. Now let's move over to the other game of the night. It was Morocco, the Atlas Lions taking on Malawi and Blyden. Take a bar of Akraf Hakimi, take 50 if you can and if you will. The excitement in the African competitions definitely continues later today. We'll talk about the final lap of the round of 16 and what a closing stage right here and what a fixture Blyden will have on our hands. A potential banana peel. We're talking about the Ivorian national team. So it's a story of the elephants clashing with the Pharaohs. Ivory Coast versus Egypt later this evening by 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Talk to us about how enormous this game is and the very fine margins that will decide where this game goes at the end of 90 minutes.
Mighty game. The Egyptian sides are usually about Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah, the best African footballer at the moment you could think of in Europe and in the rest of the world. Fantastic player, the best player in the English Premier League at the moment. But it's always going to be a kingly context, big context. The Ivorians are a big side, West African side, doing great so far in this competition. In the group stage, we saw what they did. They have a number of players you could look up to. And the problem with the Egyptians has been the fact that you have to look up to Mohamed Salah alone to really deliver the Egyptians. And it's not really been working for them. Winning 1-0 in group stages, not being the best side you could think of. But we've seen the difference happening in the next round of this competition. Teams that were struggling in the group stage have stepped up their game. They know what it means being in the next round of quarterfinals, not the quarterfinals now. They know what it means to get to the quarterfinals from the second round of a competition, round of 16. So far, it's exciting. So far, it's good. It's going to be a massive game, but it's hard for me to predict because of a lot of upsets. It makes me look like I don't know what I'm saying. Each time I'm saying it's going to go this way, and the next time it goes the other way.
So looks like it'll be safe to stay in the middle.
It's safer to stay in the middle right now. But be that as a man, big game I'm expecting. I think the Ivory Coast side are favorites to win this one, but you never can tell. The Northern African sides are beginning to step up and show the African continent that's still in it and they're still good in Africa.
No, the middle sounds like a good place to stay in.
I'm telling you.
It's sweet in the middle. Now, let's leave this game for a bit very quickly. Ivory Coast taking on Egypt. Game comes up by 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And talk about the other game which comes up a couple of hours later, 3 to be very particular, by 8 p.m. We'll see Mali taken Equatorial Guinea. Blyden on paper, you could easily give this to the Malians. On previous record, their pedigree in the competition, and of course how they've started this particular competition. But these days, games are not decided on paper. Equatorial Guinea I've got a massive point of proof later tonight. I never just know where this one would go.
Before the group stages, you would write off Equatorial Guinea and say they're not a good side. But after beating Algeria, it's simple. After beating Algeria, it's simple. You know that they're in for it. They're in for it. Important side. Interesting side. But Equatorial Guinea are in for it. The Malians seem like favorite, but it's never going to be an easy game. We saw the Cameroonians play against Comoros. Comoros down to 10 men early, and it was still difficult for the Cameroonians to get a win. We saw yesterday's game. Malawi nearly stunned Morocco. So I don't think today's game would be different. Mali against Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea, they don't have anything to lose. All they have to do is come into this game, play the best they can, defend and attack. You never can tell, get an early goal, and you stick with it. For 90 minutes, you get the win, but it's going to be tough. Be that as a man, the Malians are the favourites for this one.
No, well, on paper, they are the favourites, but you talk about pitch of play, well, at 8 p.m. would definitely give us the answers. May this one favour the better team. We're just hoping to see excitement in the best of football played on the biggest football stage here on the continent of Africa. Now let's leave Africa for a bit and return further home, talk about Nigeria. We've got our league up and running, but it's an issue, it's a matter of a rescheduled matchday 7 fixture in Aba at the Yimba International Stadium by 4 p.m. Nigerian time. Yimba are taking Akwa United. Then Blyden, Akwa United have been here and there, little dilly-dally in terms of their form and fortune. And last time out, the NSF champions could only get a point against Sunshine Stars from Akure, and now they travel to Aba to face the Elephants. What kind of game are we expecting?
They've been disappointing. I think Akwa United will lose at Aba. That's what I think. I'm surprised you're looking at me like that.
That came out straight, you know, because if the guy, he likes to stay in the middle, but you went straight for it.
Once in a while, I have to try my luck.
Okay.
But I look at it the way Akwa United are playing right now. They're not playing like champions. They're struggling at this point. I don't know what the problem is. They can't quite get the balance at this point. But Ayimba side, they'll love to get a win. They're playing at home at Aba. When you look at the fact that Akwa couldn't win Sunshine Stars in Uyo, I'm doubting they'll be able to do anything big in Aba right now. Not being sentimental, but it is what it is. They're not playing the best of football at this point. They're not showing the mark of champions. I give it to Ayimba.
Well, he gives it to Ayimba. I can't give it to anyone. Let's see who the better team will be. I like to see games where beyond the leisure of and the sentiment of who's playing at home or who's playing away, I like games to be decided on pure quality. Who's a better team on the day, and of course, who takes those chances as they come. Blind, let's leave here very quickly and talk about the story from Europe. Roy Hodgson appointed Crystal Palace manager, former Crystal Palace manager rather, appointed the new Watford manager following Monday's sacking of Claudio Ranieri. But now it's a fresh start for Anthony Martial, because now we understand that he has landed in Sevilla and has completed that loan move from Manchester United, joining Sevilla until the end of the season. This is a chance to save what's left of his football, at least playing at the top echelon.
Big player. I don't know where to start from, but I'll start with Anthony Martial. Big player. Not quite had it well for him in Manchester United. It's been difficult, especially since Ronaldo came on board, as well as Cavani. It's been difficult. You can't blame him. Ronaldo is such a big name, but we can't take anything away from Anthony Martial. He's been a good talent. Came in from where did he come? Monaco. Yeah, he came in from Monaco. I think about £35 million, and for Manchester United to go for him at that amount, it shows he's a great player. He's been sloppy in few games, but you can't doubt the talent of this man. A good opportunity for him to test his games and revive his career in a way. Play week in, week out. And I like the excitement coming from Sevilla's side. They're excited that they're having him. They're excited that he could help their bid to win the La Liga title. And for me, it's good he moved to Sevilla. But Roy Hodgson, good to have him. Retired. He retired end of last season from Crystal Palace, 75 years, coming to Watford. Big case for him. Watford are placed 9-10, but he has to find a way to get it right. He's been around football for 50 years, and exciting to have him in Watford.
Well, he's coached in 17 different clubs in his career. So you talk about experience, the man, Roy Hodgson, has got it, but we'd like to see how he brings that experience to Watford Football Club. Wish him the very best. Meanwhile, he's the oldest a manager in the Premier League as we speak. Blyden, thank you very much for being a part of the conversation this morning. We sincerely appreciate you. Well, stay right here with us. There's a lot more magic lined up for your viewing delight here on Spectrum Television. On Sports Central this morning, this is where we put the gears on the reverse until we return later tomorrow. Bright James and Blyden was here. Thank you to everyone who's made this one, who's contributed in no small way to making this one a huge success. I appreciate you. Have fun, guys.